Absolutely. First of all, thank you very much for asking. I really appreciate you. So in that video, we were talking about Nova Scotia PNP program, certain things that we should keep in mind when submitting our application under the PNP stream. One of them was that your job offer and your pay rate in the job offer must meet the provincial minimum wage rate requirement. I'll get to that in a minute. Second was that if you have a job offer, you also need to make sure that you're meeting the LICO requirement. LICO requirement means the projected income in Nova Scotia. So there is a certain minimum LICO requirement that you must meet, otherwise your application will be refused. For example, you're going to submit an application as a retail sales supervisor in Halifax. So how these two things needs to be checked, I'm going to walk you through. So retail supervisor and place is Halifax, okay? Okay, so the first requirement is that your job offer, the employee must be paid a salary that meets provincial employment standard and provincial wage range for the specific occupation. So you must be being paid in between the provincial wage range. What is that provincial wage range? So if you're looking at the retail sales supervisor in Halifax, this is the provincial median wage rate, provincial wage rate. Lowest wage rate is right here, 1650. We're not going to look into the region, we look into the province. So 1650, median is 1978, and highest is 3125. So it means you must be getting paid at least $16.50 in order to be eligible for Nova Scotia PNP. Okay, the other most important requirement, which is often overlooked, is the LICO requirement. As you can see in the program guide here, Nova Scotia clearly says that we will not approve your application if it appears likely that your family income will be below the LICO requirement. We calculate the LICO requirement based on your family size, whether they are coming to Canada with you or not. So even your family members are non-accompanied, you still have to count them into the calculations. How is that working? How does it work? So this is the link to the table. Once you click on it, it will take you to this table right here. So if you're a single person, your minimum income must be at least 30,526. If you have a spouse, then your income must be $38,002. If you have dependent child, whether they are Canadian citizen or non-Canadian citizen, then you need to meet the requirement of 3 people in total. Now, how you can meet this requirement? They say you can meet this requirement either with the income you will earn from your job offer. So whoever employer which is offering you a full-time permanent job and giving you support in the Nova Scotia PNP, your income from that employment plus your spouse's income if they have a permanent job offer in Nova Scotia. Please note, they must have a permanent job offer in Nova Scotia. Self-employment is not accepted in this. Now, how the calculation works? The calculation is, for example, if you're being paid $16.50 and you're working 40 hours a week times 52 weeks in a year, this is your income, 34,320. And if you're single, then you're certainly meeting this requirement. But if you are married, you're not meeting this requirement and you are requiring this extra amount to be eligible. And that can be achieved by having your spouse to provide a full-time job offer from an employer in Nova Scotia. So we always need to make sure that we are meeting these two main requirements along with the requirements mentioned on their webpage, because these are the requirements which could lead to a refusal if they are not fulfilled. Thank you.